would you give it? You give me that. Wanna be behind say. Where would I be?
Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So before I get into the video, I just want to say that for those persons who saw the preview of this video, you would have seen me in a different setting with different clothing, but I felt like there was more that needed to be said, and so I have decided to re-record it. For a very long time I have been struggling to love myself, to accept myself, struggling to feel like I belong, struggling to feel comfortable in everyday life. You know, sometimes you might be on the road and you look so happy, you're around your friends and you look so happy, and you know, people feel like nothing can be going wrong with you, but there are so many persons fighting so many battles when they go home, things that they don't talk about, things that they don't want to talk about because they feel like no one will understand. They feel like, you know, nobody will support them, that people will reject them. Whatever it is, you know, everybody is struggling with something, and I am just one of the many people out there who have been struggling. And what this struggle has been for me is a condition called confluent and reticulated papillomatosis. It started when I was in about grade 9. It's a skin condition. I don't wish to show any pictures or anything, you know, you can always look it up if you like, but it comes, it affects my chest area, back, shoulders, sometimes neck, sometimes face. Who knows, you know, it is so random, and but yeah, it's really mostly those areas. It has been the most frustrating experience of my life, you know, out of everything that I have had to deal with in my life. It has been one of those things that you have to wake up and decide to just keep strong, you know. So yeah, I've been dealing with that condition for years. It is something that comes and goes. You know, one of the most frustrating things to me is all the times I've had to go to, you know, dermatologists, spending all this money, and I'm like, I cannot spend the rest of my life paying money, you know, for something like this, you know. And it's been so overwhelming, you know. You go to doctors and they'll say, well, there's no cure for it at the moment. And just hearing that, thinking, alright, I have to just live with it, you know, just whatever it is, what it is. And I don't necessarily agree with that, just because, you know, I have done research. I feel like doctors aren't always right, you know. And I mean, they know a lot, yes, but I have, you know, done research on myself. I've been so frustrated and just looking up somebody, trying to find somebody who has shared this experience as well, you know. And I know that there are persons who are going through this, and I know that there are ways to deal with it, ways to get rid of it. I'm yet to be successful with that. You know, I even tried going pescatarian for a little while. That never really worked out. Plus, I feel like my patience was I didn't have the patience for it. Like I was getting frustrated because I wasn't really seeing much changes, and I feel like I needed to hold out a little longer. But you know, it's just been something like that, and sometimes I feel so bitter and bitter towards persons who are able to wear normal clothes freely. Just persons, they just throw on a top, go outside and gone, that's it, them good. Me, I have to think about, alright, what am I going to wear today? Is it going to be obvious? Are people going to notice? You know, things like that. And my skin isn't always bad, you know, it goes. So for example, when I'm taking medication or creams or whatever, pills or whatever I need to take, you know, it goes away and I can wear certain clothes. But then when that's not the case, it's so frustrating. I can't tell you how many times I've cried, I've bawled, I've begged, I've just wanted to stay in my home, not go anywhere, not talk to anybody, not interact, because this thing has been holding me back, has been suffocating me for such an extremely long time, and every time I feel like it's getting better, you know, it's like, oh no, it you know, it just comes back. And it's been so hard just interacting with people on a daily basis, just friends. There are some friends who most I don't think most persons who know me even know that I am dealing with this, and even if they have an idea, they do not know how extremely uncomfortable I am just being in their presence, wondering, you know, is this person, you know, noticing, what are they thinking? And there have been so many awkward conversations where it can be very uncomfortable, very awkward, because you don't want people to bring it up, you don't want people to mention it. And, you know, you just want to come out and say what it is, you just want to be free, but then you're afraid to be vulnerable, you're afraid that people will be like, that's weird, like, you know, that makes me uncomfortable by, like, things like that run through my mind all the time. I don't, because people aren't as accepting as they seem. I remember when I was in university, when I was at UA, my friend noticed it, like right here on my chest, and she's like, you have eczema? And I said no, and I was like, you know, it's a skin condition. And just saying things like that is so hard for me, because I don't want people to notice, I don't want people to bring it up. I remember a couple years back, probably I was in about grade 10, somebody had seen it. That was when it was extremely bad, and the person said to me, you know what, like, did something burn you? Like, what burned up your skin? And I'm like, you know, it's nothing burned me. And it's just uncomfortable, things like that. And people, sometimes I don't think people think before they talk. Jamaicans like to jokingly say, you know, you're bleach or whatever, and I can't tell you how many times close persons to me have said things like that, especially when my face was bad, like you're bleach. And that hurts, you know, because you go through this thing and you can't even bother express what it is, because them don't understand, and people just tend to say anything that come to them out, like the people don't think about what they're saying. And you know, there's a point in high school where I don't know if this has anything to do with the condition, but there's a point in high school where my face was discolored and I couldn't see it. So people could see it, I just didn't see it, I did not notice it. And people would always be like, oh, so what happened to you? Why your face look like that? And I'm like, I genuinely couldn't see it at all. And so I used to wear my hair in my face like this, like half of my face was covered. And you know, teachers, there's this teacher in particular that would always say, you know, move your hair from your face, but she never I mean, it was also an emotion. I was also dealing with things emotionally, but you know, I did not want to be seen. And it's been so rough. It's not a constant thing. So as we say, you know, sometimes I have flare-ups, other times I'm good, but I have really just been trying to find a way to be healed from this thing. I have prayed so many times, bawl, beg God, try everything. And some people might be like, alright, so why, you know, probably there's somebody watching this who is not a Christian, who probably doesn't have much faith in God or whatever. some people might be like, so, you know, why isn't God healing you? And I would ask myself the same thing so many times. I still believe in his healing. I still believe he's going to do something for me, but I feel like he is using me, or he wants to use me to help somebody, to let somebody know that they are not alone. Sometimes it's so hard to be strong when you're on your own, but I feel like I am here in this to encourage somebody, because in my weakness he's strong. Yeah, there are so many times in life when we are going through things and there are persons who are going through the exact thing or even worse, and they look so happy, you know, with life. They must go through like nothing is wrong, and we look at them and be like, you know, why couldn't that be me? Why can't I enjoy life like they are? And you know, sometimes it can be a facade, but then there are times when people just really decide within themselves that, you know, I cannot live my life afraid. I cannot live in fear. I cannot just hide away, and they decide to, you know, be free. And I feel like sometimes we feel like we have nobody to talk to, nobody to turn to. But I just pray that all of us will have a strong circle in our lives. Anybody will have a strong circle in their lives that will let them know, alright, you're not alone. Yes, this thing is hard, but you're not alone. We are loved, we understand. And I don't feel like I have that, mostly because I don't talk about this with anybody really. It takes a lot out of me to talk about it. This is something I've always wanted to keep to myself. But, you know, and you might say, then why are you talking about it? You know, why are you exposing this? Why are you exposing yourself in this way? And honestly, I am doing this because I am tired of being afraid. I'm tired of living in fear. I'm tired of missing out on so many opportunities. I can't tell you how many times I've rejected opportunities to do certain things because of this thing, this burden. And even simple things like going out to the beach, just simple things like that, you know. I have held back so long, and I'm grateful for the persons who I've told, who have, you know, encouraged me. And it's been really hard, but I'm tired of being afraid, and me sharing this doesn't mean I'm any less afraid. It doesn't mean tomorrow I'm going to get up and everything's going to be alright. I'm good now, yay, everything alright. No, it's not that. But I am tired of living in this shell. And some people might be like, so why you never tell me? And people aren't as easy as they think they are to talk to. You know, sometimes you open up to people and they dismiss you, or they try to give you a solution, or them start talking about themselves. And sometimes you just really want somebody to just listen, somebody to be by your side, somebody to love you regardless, unconditionally, you know. And I can be a person, I can be very feisty sometimes, for sure, you know, and any of my friends watching this can say that. But I have always tried to be careful about, you know, the way I speak to people, the things I point out. So I know as a persons, there are so many persons now going through so many things, you know. For example, and Jamaicans, we love to call people thin-skinned, we love to call them soft, weak, when we point out things because, oh, they're supposed to accept it, you know, they need to be tougher. But you have no idea what people are going through. You have no idea the trauma behind certain things. You know, you see somebody put on weight, or they get fatty, you're like, and people will say, oh, that's just how Jamaicans are. Like, think before you speak. You don't know what that person is going through, and that's not an excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse to eat unhealthily and be obese and all of that, but a person put on weight, like they look biggie, and things like that makes people not want to be in certain spaces, because the first thing you're going to say when you see them they're talking about them weight. Somebody has lost weight, Lord, you look so, you don't know if the person's sick, you don't know what the person is going through, you don't know if the person was overweight before and they try to lose weight now so that they can feel better about themselves. You don't know. People are struggling with their mental health, their physical health, reproductive issues, broken homes, struggling with self-love, feeling unworthy. This one, some people feel like they are behind in life, like everybody's moving forward, everybody seems successful, everybody has the best job, everybody's in the best school, everybody's moving ahead, and it's like nothing is working for them. People are struggling with so much, and I wish we would be kinder to each other. When you're going to speak, think, is what I'm saying, is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it true? Sometimes it might be true, but can you say it in a kind way? So if you say, yeah, true, so we can just say it anyway. I'm not saying when you speak to persons to, probably drop in a little lie somewhere so that it doesn't sound as bad. Say what you're saying, but be kind about it. We need to be kinder to each other. We need to be more considerate with each other. Sometimes the persons who hurt us the most are our family members when we're going through whatever we're going through. As relates to this condition, like family members have said things to me, and it's like, if they can say that to me, then who am I to expect somebody else on the road to say something better? It's been so hard. But I just want you to know that you're not alone. And I did not want to put out this video in this way. I wanted, in my head I was like, you know what, alright, when everything is sorted out, when your life is well put together, you're going to come back and tell everybody how you overcame this and how you struggle with this, but now you're better. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be all glamorous and everything, but I realized that people are going through so much. It may not be a skin condition, it may be something else, but just know that you're not alone. You're not alone. I was thinking of starting this whole movement of persons who are struggling, and persons who are struggling with different disorders, different things that you consider flaws. I was going to put a whole thing together, showing women, men dealing with all of these different things. I mean, it's just a thought. I don't know if it would ever happen. If this is you, if you're interested, I don't know what it is, I'm just putting it out there. If this is you, if you're going through something, is there something on you, something within you that you have been struggling with, and you want the world to know that, okay, yes, I'm going through this, but I am strong. And even though this might seem like a setback, but perhaps it is pushing me towards my destiny. Perhaps it will help somebody in their situation. You don't know. And so I'm putting that out there. If you're thinking of that, if you're interested in that, let me know. We can do something. I don't know what it is exactly. But yes, I want you all to be strong. Probably easier said than done. Be strong. You're not alone. For all the persons who have been encouraging me, supporting me so far in this aspect of my life, I just want to say thank you. I'm tired of being afraid, tired of being fearful, tired of hiding and boxing myself in. So this is it. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.